Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome on back. Do I have a treat for you guys? I have my good friend, that one Venusaur, with me running some RE1. But not only that, we have the original voice actor for Mr. Albert Wesker,
Hey
Pablo Kuntz,
guys.
with us tonight.
Yeah. Loving it.
So, Venusaur, if you want to introduce yourself.
All right, welcome on in, everybody. I'm that one Venusaur. I'm a speed runner primarily, but I love horror games and I play primarily Resident Evil. But I'm also a huge Pokemon fan, as you can tell by my name. I collect the cards and I open them up. I love them, and I'm super excited and honored to be joined by Wesker himself, Mr. Pablo Kuntz. Thank you so
Whoa.
much.
Well, well, guys, it's me, Pablo Kuntz here from coming to you live from the UK, and this is my first. Well, I played with or I saw Matt RPD play last week. This is my second sort of stream watching guys, speed run through this thing. So looking forward. It's great to be here. Thanks everyone for being here, and hopefully we'll raise some money for Haven House right today. That's the mission.
I did also just realize
Absolutely.
you would be hearing yourself twice because we had to do something with Venusaur there. So I did
Yeah.
just send you a Twitch link if you want to just watch it on Twitch. Just because
Yeah, okay.
it'll probably get very annoying listening.
Yeah, I'm like hearing a total echo here. So
Yeah,
where do I go? I go
I sent
on
you,
my.
yeah,
Oh
the
yeah,
Twitch
yeah,
link.
yeah, yeah. I see. So I just click on this
Yep. And you should
and I
see
go, yep,
yourself on there with chat right now.
yeah.
Yep.
Hold on.
I'll just stop
I
that
can see
speech.
that. Yeah, and then you can kill the other audio.
Yeah, I'll just kill that now. That should be good now.
Okay, so now Okay, good. Yeah, that was a little bit.
Yeah,
A
yeah. I
little
realized as soon
jarring.
as we went over.
Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
No, I'm still hearing like way.
Venusaur, can you just share your game, see if that works now?
Share my game. I got it.
Yeah, so back to Discord.
Yep.
We'll see if that
So I'm gonna
works
put
with
my
the
finger
camera
up.
still.
I believe I shared the game. Are you able to see that?
You might need to, yeah, I can,
I can see easy. I can see it, but I don't. My screen is not. Oh, now I'm moving it.
yeah. Can you see him
It's
flicking
all
through the
delayed though.
cards? Yeah, you can close that Twitch website now.
Okay, hold on. So I click. So not Discord, right? Keep Discord going.
Yeah, keep Discord going, but close Twitch
Okay, hold on.
and press watch under that one Venusaur.
So I'm gonna click this tab here. It says FD Marathon Twitch. I'm gonna click that and turn it off. Is that right?
Yeah, close that one.
Okay, so that's off now. Okay.
Yep. And then come back into Discord where we are and click on watch
Video.
stream on on Venusaur.
Okay, and then watch stream on Venusaur. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Do you see the game and hear it now?
See him moving through and back and forth, easy.
Perfect. Yeah.
Awesome. That should be good now. So you
Yeah,
guys
that's.
can. Yep.
Oh, thank
Awesome.
you. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
just a.
Sorry about that. I completely
distracting.
forgot. Yeah.
We want a smooth
Awesome.
experience for everyone, for sure.
Yeah, that's good. Okay,
Absolutely,
that's
dude.
really. Whoa, I was a bit concerned that was gonna be through an hour of fun. Anyway, it's okay. It's all good. Yeah, good. So let's. So I see easy, and then click through. Now hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect. That's great. All right.
All right. So I think we are ready to go. By the way, just to give everyone a heads up, this is Jill any percent. It's basically completing the Jill run as fast as possible without saving any of the other characters. And hopefully I can describe some of the strats as we chat with Pablo, and he lets us know about some fun stuff with the game and stuff that he's got going on. So I'm ready to go whenever everyone else is ready to go.
Perfect. How many
Yeah, I'm
times have you
ready.
played this
Just
game there?
give me a
Venusaur?
countdown when you start the game, then, so I can start the timer, and we're all good.
All right, I'm gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and go. Woohoo!
All right.
So I think
It's always exciting. Yeah.
yeah, I think part of the reason why this one is, and actually hold on.
What a mansion.
We had to hear it.
We had to hear it, yeah.
What a mansion.
Wesker, where's Chris?
I love this.
Stop it. Don't open that door.
But Chris is...
Don't open that door.
What is
I know, it never...
Maybe it's Chris.
So, I mean,
Can you go?
amazing.
Going with you. Chris is our old partner, you know.
Okay. Let me handle
Let
this.
me handle this.
I love it. Yeah, so I mean, as we hear some of the voice acting, if you could take us a little bit through, you know, how this came to be, how you got the role, you know, what it was like to do the recording. You know, if you could just take us a little bit through
Yeah,
that.
yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, yeah. Well, I was living in Japan at the time, of course, in Tokyo.
What is
I was originally hired as an English teacher back in 1993. And I lasted about half a year teaching English. I just didn't really like the sort of McDonald's over and over again, you know, just teaching and McDonald's style in a sense, right? It was like 50 minutes of teaching, 10 minutes off, 50 minutes of teaching, 10 minutes off.
Barry?
And then I decided to look for other opportunities in Japan when I was there. And before I went to Japan from Canada, a friend of mine said, you know, when you're there, there's a lot of you know, TV commercials and, you know, modeling work and some voice stuff. They're always looking for foreigners. A friend of his had told him.
Maybe by this
And
creature.
he said, just why don't you try? So when I finished that English teaching, I looked at some of these freelance agencies and, you know, created a composite card and I got hired as you know, as a model and sometimes or just like in some TV commercial playing a foreigner, getting angry when I needed to be, and like they tend to portray the same kind of roles for a lot of Westerners and anyway, on one of the sets I ended up getting in touch with I think with Sergio, and if you look at Albert Wesker online and you see like who the first voice actor, the credits often to this guy named Sergio Jones or Sergio Alarcon, but he was just a friend of mine. He wasn't, of course, the actor, and
I'll try the door on the opposite side.
I think he had sort of connections with the production company for you know, from Capcom, because Capcom will hire an agency, you know, a production a company, voice talent, and they'll just handle all the people that are needed for the project. And I just had a voice tape. I didn't go to any particular audition. It was just, you know, put the voice tape in, and the next thing I knew I got this job for Albert Wesker. And I was very excited, very happy, because really at the time I was just trying to make a little bit of cash so that I can go backpacking throughout Southeast Asia, to be quite honest. It was like just do like 6 months on and then you know, working and then travel for like 3 months in Thailand and Vietnam and all these great countries, and then run out of money and then go back to Japan. And so the whole freelance sort of industry, these dogs scared the crap out of me with my son the first time we played. But it was a lot of fun, and but that's how I got it. It wasn't you know, nothing much more than that, and I totally forgot about it. Right? People will, I think, if people have known about my channel and have seen my story, I really didn't know. I knew this was for a game when I did it, but I had no idea. I didn't follow it. A lot of times when you're doing acting work, you know, you just don't follow it. It's like you don't look for the catalog. Oh, I'm in this month's suit catalog for men, you know, like you're not necessarily fishing for it, you know. And then I had no idea that this game was going on because I wasn't gaming in Japan. And it's only when I went back to
No, but
the UK 10 years ago. I've been here about 10 years.
Whoa. This hall
that about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, on one of my, I have a channel where I was showcasing some of these samurai swords that I sell. I've since become an antique dealer in samurai swords. Um, that somebody actually sent me a little text, a little note in the comments, right, in my YouTube channel saying, "Is it true? Is it true?" And it was kind of like second language English because I could tell that maybe somebody from South America. "Is it true? Are you the voice of Albert Wesker?" And I must admit, I was like, "Where is that? Where have I heard that name before?" And Albert Wesker. And then it just dawned on me, that of this game. I of course looked online on YouTube to see what this was, if there was any mention of Albert Wesker, and I just kaboom, got blown away with all this voice acting stuff. And I really quickly realized that a lot of people were poking fun at the course voice acting in that first RE1, and so I was thinking to myself, that Sergio got credit for the first. And I was thinking maybe it's a good idea. Maybe it's lady luck that Sergio's going to get the heat for this. Maybe it's not such a bad thing. And then I thought, maybe I should, come clean. And so 2 weeks later, in that chat comment, I said, yeah, it's me. What a blast from the past. And then like a tsunami of comments saying, "No way, really, no way." And since then, I've sort of embraced it. The whole, just the fact that I didn't realize what a franchise it was, and I was getting such, positive comments from people, just genuinely kind comments. I mean, if you looked at just the YouTube stuff, you'd think, "Oh no, they hate me," or whatever. And I just didn't think that was the case, or whatever. And so I yeah, from there, I decided to make a kind of a parody video of "Don't Open That Door" with my son, where I walked up the stairs, and you should watch it. It's quite fun, where he's like just about to open a door, and it's basically the bathroom door, and I'm saying, "Don't open that door!" And he's like, "Dad, it's just the bathroom. What's the problem?" And so from there, it kind of steamrolled, and I started, reenacting some of the lines from RE1, and it's been a lot of fun. And then so he ended up, Lexano, my son, which will be here in a couple minutes. He decided to open up his own channel, and a lot of people were sort of encouraging us to play the game, actually. And he likes to play Roblox and everything, but he'd never played anything like RE1 before. So, but about 3 months ago, we started playing RE1, Jill, this very game, and just like 2-3 hour sessions. He's a 12-year-old kid, and you'll see him soon. And it was great, just like sort of father and son sort of time. That we're just like, because as they get a little bit older, there's less dad time in a sense, right? But that's been really great, just playing the game together, and recording the commentary. I'm just doing some comments, and he's playing the game, and getting through it, and learning the puzzles, trying not to cheat, right? Like not looking back at on how like shortcuts and stuff. Mm-hmm. There's a great sort of pull or enticement to go online, to go and say, okay, how do I get through this puzzle or whatever? But we try to be as faithful to the game as possible, and people have really enjoyed that, and of course they're watching it. They've played the game 20 years ago or 25 years ago, and they're like, "Wow, man, watching you play with Lexonal, it's like it reminds me of me playing with my dad, or my uncle, or watching my brother or sister play it, for example." And it's and that's been awesome, right? Just to get that kind of positive feedback from people, and taking them back, and now we're in the midst of playing Chris, and so I'm not sure if anybody's inside the chat. If they want to, please subscribe to both Lexonal's channel and my channel, and you'll be notified on the latest uploads that we have, and we do shout outs once in a while for people that are commenting, and anyway, it's been a lot of fun, really a lot of fun, a lot of editing. But it's just it's a good game. I mean, I can honestly say that it's actually a really good game, and I completely understand why it really took off. It's genuinely good fun, and it's a pleasure to have this sort of happy accident occur being being the voice of Albert Wesker, and people seem to like the bad guy, right? People seem to like those so quick.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's
And
awesome
you also
hearing.
have both links in chat there, so
Mhm.
you can go and give follow to both Pablo and Lexana. That was a wonderful playthrough of Jill. I really enjoyed that. There's also the link to Unique Japan, which is Pablo's sword website. So if you're interested in that, please check it out.
That's great. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for shouting us out. I appreciate that. Lexonal just got over 500 subs, and he's pretty pumped up about that. And we're trying to get him close to 1,000. That's his next goal. Oh, get the serum, right? That was a serum, I think.
Yeah, things happen
Jeez.
kind of blindingly fast
Whoa.
in this, so it's kind
Yeah,
of
you
hard
are
to
just
keep track.
moving quickly through it. My son is Lexonal's going to join in here. If that's cool with you guys, is that all right?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So okay, so he's gonna come in.
I'm gonna
But
actually.
I have to also say about the voice acting. I have to always bring this up. But if I was mentioning about doing some of these TV commercials. The here's Lexonal, by the way. Here's Lex. Hey,
Hello.
hey,
Hey.
there he is. Yeah. The Japanese always want you to go over the top when it comes to like commercials and for a lot of TV commercials in Japan are only 15 seconds long. So it's like act surprised, act angry, that kind of thing, and it's always overdone, And so when we did the voice acting for RE1, we a lot of us took that a little bit. It's kind of like over the top sense of acting to it. Now everything is more natural and cool. I could get that, but back then it sort of suited the way a lot of Japanese.
It's around it again.
Yeah, a lot of Japanese games were, well, not necessarily games, but just the voice acting and that the way the directors generally wanted it, just a bit over the top, and so that's part of the reason, apart from the fact that the actual script itself is clearly a translation from Japanese English, right?
That's awesome.
That
So
was,
I gotta say, my heart kind of just dropped as I went through that section. That's possibly one of the most difficult sections of the speed run right there, getting around that snake. It is a major reset point for a lot of runners when if you get bit by that snake, Jill ends up in a completely different room, different dialogue, and it actually takes.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, it takes up a completely, like, it takes about a minute, and if you're speed running, a minute is like a lifetime.
That's right. Yeah. No,
Especially in the game.
you want to get him a little closer. You see how the here?
Your chairs.
Oh, my chair's in the way, so I'm just gonna get that out of the way here. Okay, and I'll move this over here. Okay, good stuff. Okay, so now Lexonal is gonna try and maybe learn a little bit on the speed, the need for
Japanese
speed and
snakes.
stuff. Obviously, you've played this. Do you play it every week or what? This game?
Yeah, so actually I play this quite often. The original games
Right.
are some of my favorites. So this one, Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, I play very often.
Yeah.
At least once a week or multiple times a week I'll play this run. Because the goal is to just try and get a faster time each and every time. And
Right. Yeah.
there are certain categories that are a little bit more competitive than others, just in terms of how many people attempt and submit their times. So this one is possibly one of the most competitive. It has a lot of submissions in terms of people just speedrunning and then putting in their best times. And so yeah, it's actually the first speed run I learned. It was the first Resident Evil ever, and so the first one I played when I was a kid, and I've loved it ever since. Yeah. Played it with my sister. She and I would try and set the scene. We would turn off all the lights in the room and turn on the game and just scare ourselves to bits.
Wow.
And hearing your about your playthrough with Lexonal, I have to admit, when I was a kid, we got so stuck in the game that we had to sort of use a cheat or a walkthrough, basically just a guide that told us like where to go and what to do. But
Right.
back when I played this game, we didn't, internet existed, but we didn't have it. We went to a bookstore though, and we found
Right.
about a
Right.
textbook size book with lots of different guides, and one
Amazing.
of them was Resident Evil, and so we were sitting there with this textbook, just trying to play the game and
Yep.
and trying to figure it out. It was amazing.
Well, that's what I did an interview with LTRE not too long ago with Lex Honnold, and he described about having that textbook, and actually I think he bought a textbook. I think it was John. They told us the story, and it had all notes in the back, like people had actually written down, keep to the right side, da 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 da, or something to that effect, like just notes on actually how to play the game, so that if you were to go back, you'd fumble back on the notes and make sure that you played properly and all that, right? So it's yeah, I can see,
We didn't need that.
but we didn't need that. I mean, we did get stuck. We got stuck in that, that roller thing, and that in the
Oh yeah, it was a glitch. The elevator. That-
well, no, I'm talking about like in the tunnels downstairs. Remember
Well, the
how
sewers with the
you,
boulder, right?
yeah, exactly what the boulder is, like where you have to get the wolf book. You actually
Yeah.
go left.
Oh yeah.
And there's also a way to go right in when you turn that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
anyway, you have to do it twice, I believe, right? So we didn't realize that there was actually a passageway to the left, and that we were really stuck on
Yeah,
that.
that was quite a smart idea.
Right? Yeah, that was quite smart. Well, I love checking things out, right? Like you check items out, right? What you're doing. Obviously, you don't have to do that, but you like a key, and then you flip it, and you get like room 101 or whatever it is, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, you can
like it's important. It's important to
items
examine things,
Yeah.
like.
So you get the item description.
That's right. Yeah,
Oop.
we didn't quite get that. We just get it, and then it flips around. You're like, oh, that's the what, mansion key, or the sword key, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, it's kind of says mansion key, and then you examine. Oh, it's a sword key. Oh, it's a helmet
That's
key.
right. Yeah. But before you ever
doors.
do that examination for anything, you're like you're kind of lost in the dark. And then you realize that function exists, and you're like, whoa! It's like it opens up Pandora's box, and like, yes, like
Certain
It's the same
mechanics
with
in the
books.
game are.
these
So if you
boxes we
ex-
went around. How many times we did this
Oh,
box
it took
up and
us,
down,
Yeah, it took
up.
us like 20 minutes to get.
Certain mechanics.
So there's no way of doing this any
hallmarks.
quicker, right? This is probably one of the slowest, like
Yeah.
hardest, sort of time intensive parts of the game, I think, right here.
Yeah, there are a certain amount of pushes that you can do to make it as fast as possible. So the very first box that you push 2 and then a fraction of a full push, because the mechanics in the game allow you to do fractions of pushes.
Right.
And then the really long push, I think is 23 or 24 pushes. So as speedrunners, we try to count everything, steps, pushes, seconds, everything to try
Yeah, I
and
can imagine.
maximize.
I know. It's like, well, I mean, I used to competitive swim when I was a kid, and training hours and hours and hours, and like learning how to do a flip turns, and the breathing. Like, how many strokes before you actually do the flip turn, and how many kicks do you do before you take your first breath, and all these little things that, of course, add up. To kind of help save time and get a faster time in your swim. Everything matters, right? And this is no different, really.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Some people do what other people do, and then they see something. Oh, maybe if I do this, I can save half a second. So let's try that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And then of course, so now I can imagine the difference between the very top, like the top 10 is probably, I mean, even less than a second, or is it all within seconds, or what's the? Do you actually measure into the hundreds of a second now? Things are getting so competitive, or no?
Yeah, in this one, it's within seconds. There are certain speed runs where they do measure into the milliseconds. This isn't one of them, but
No.
in terms of the very top runs, the world record for this is 38 minutes and 4 seconds, and so that run, even though it has some mistakes, is about as optimal as you can do the run, even though there's still some time save here and there. But then second place is 38 minutes and 8 seconds. So it's just a 4-second difference.
4 seconds, yep.
Yeah, 4 seconds, right? So you, in this game, that we remember this Plant 42. So you purposely got sort of, you know, captured in a sense, right? You did a couple shots, and this is exactly what we went through, where Barry comes in the door and just gives that thing heat.
Yeah, when you
So there's-
guys complete the Chris run, hopefully you can catch a speed run of it. I don't want to spoil too much, but with the speed run for Chris, you have to
Yep.
battle that plant with just the knife.
What a monster.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Really?
and it's very complicated because there's something in these games called RNG, which is just the randomness of the game. I guess the developers of the game created some things randomly, and the amount of hits it takes to take down that plant is random, and the way it behaves is random.
Oh, I see. I see. Oh, there's
Yeah,
a
the
Wesker
cr-
line.
You're gonna be
the
saving
cr-
before
cr-
that.
So you're safe.
A Chris
So
run
you're-
is
so
very
you're
knife
safe.
heavy.
That's what I was going to say.
You're right. So you're saying that we have to actually kill that plant with the knife?
Well, when you're doing a playthrough just casually, not a speed run, you can use whatever you
Yeah.
want. But speed
Right,
runners
I
have
see.
found that the most optimal, quickest way to fight it is with a knife.
Is that right?
Isn't that interesting?
How does that work?
Yeah, I know, right? Right. That's so interesting, right?
A lot of
It's not
speed runners
necessarily-
will tell you
it's not
it.
necessarily the fastest way to kill it. It's just that
Right.
other items you need take longer time to get, so to speak.
Right, I see. Oh, I see. Because I mean, don't tell us yet, but we've picked up a few shotgun shells, but we haven't picked up the shotgun itself.
Just a broken.
Just a broken shotgun. So I don't know. Like
Well, we found the shot
we did.
at the end.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
I love this. I
Oh.
wish I could experience it all for the first time again, seeing you two sort of figure it all
Mm.
out. I was actually going to ask, but I guess you kind of answered it. Has this been your first experience playing through the game? Is with Lexano?
That's right. Oh, yeah. I just absolutely it was absolutely the end of last year. So what, September or so, 2021 is when I actually
Beginning of-
myself, Albert Wesker, OG Albert Wesker, played the game for the first time, or to watch the game for the very first time. Right. Apart from clips that you would have seen on, you know, YouTube and stuff, but I didn't know how to play or how the game worked or anything. Like we were at the beginning, like what's this WS1, you know, like just trying to. It's terrific actually, you know. So yeah, it's all new, and the dogs actually, right? Dogs. They just get me, these dogs. They're so, like, troublesome.
Yeah.
They're irritating, these dogs. You know?
Apart from this
Oh,
enemy
yeah.
here, these enemies.
I love
but
this
the angles, yes.
Dodges that.
Oh, I thought you were going to shoot that thing. This is the thing. The one thing about this thing is you don't shoot anybody, right? Like, you're basically, or very, very rarely do you take something out.
Pretty much only take out bosses.
Mm-hmm. Only what you have to.
Yep.
From round
Are you on a keyboard?
No, actually, I'm one of the few speedrunners who uses a controller. It just doesn't feel right unless I'm using a PlayStation controller. So
I see.
that's- yeah,
Okay.
that's what I use.
And there's no rules on that, like, oh, this is the keyboard speed and this is the controller speed or anything like that? No.
No,
It's
although
all the same in this.
yeah,
It's
people.
no different categories for it, so to speak.
Yeah. I think speedrunners will say that that there is a difference, although I think the second place runner for this uses a controller, and so I don't know if you can sort of see my camera. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm.
I can't see your camera.
If
no,
you
I
can't, that's fine. I'll
That's
just
okay.
describe so there's a way that you hold the controller that's just ergonomically the way it's designed, but for the speed run, you sort of hold your right hand in the OK sign. They call it a crab grip because it sort of mimics the claw of a crab. This way, you're able to mash the buttons more quickly.
What's going on?
It's actually quite
Yeah, it's
uncomfortable,
so
but
technical, right?
Yeah. It's
But
quite
Venusaur,
uncomfortable.
that's not the weirdest thing you have done, is it? Tell him when you hold your controller upside down last event.
Right. So there was a.
I just turned on the screen right now, so I don't want you to show the controller because I know you're working at it, but I guess, yeah. So I'm.
So yeah, I mean, I can sort of hold it up here. I don't know if you can see how I'm like holding the controller in this weird
It's
crab
gotta-
grip.
Okay, now I can. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's a bit of a
Yeah.
delay on Twitch, but I can see that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, and so
Yeah, that's cool. Very
actually,
good.
FTLG, the marathon we're in right now, this amazing charity event, they've held events in the past, and one of them was called the Niche-a-thon, which is basically completing speed runs in cool and unique ways. And I actually completed this run while holding the controller upside down the entire time.
Is that right? Really?
It was
Wow, that's pretty
It's
impressive,
wow.
actually. That takes some serious, like, it's a little bit like, have you ever used one of those remote control cars, like where you have the left hand goes forward and back and the right hand goes left and right, where you're steering? And I can obviously do it quite easily when the car is, I'm looking at the back of the car and it's going forward. But the moment the car starts coming towards me and I got to do opposite way, like, oh, it's my brain just somehow melts, like somehow I just always end up going the wrong direction. So the fact that you're able to do that, that's pretty good, actually.
What is your like fastest time in the game?
Well, what's my fastest
are
time?
you the 3804 or no?
No. I wish I was. That would be
Yeah.
incredible. No, my fastest time right now is 39:06.
Whoa.
So still pretty off the world record pace, but I've been working on trying to beat that time. And once you start getting up to that level where you're, I think my time is, 40 something place in the world, like 45th, 46th. Once you get up to that time, your time saves are far and few between, and it becomes a real mental game because you have the skill set to do it, but then you start getting up in your head like, okay, I have this next segment coming up, I gotta do this strat, I gotta
Sure.
Yeah.
I can see. I assume there's some Japanese speedrunners, some good ones, no? I would imagine. No?
Oh yeah, all around the world there are amazing
all around the world,
speedrunners, yeah. And so like little things, now that you mentioned that, one of the questions I get most often is, why are you playing the non-English version? And so one of the things is that the Japanese text is
scrolls faster.
It's shorter. So little things like that all make a difference.
Is there a Chinese version?
Yep, there's a Chinese version, Japanese.
Because I could be wrong about this, but I think there might even be fewer characters in the Chinese, maybe.
Yeah, I can elaborate on that because the remake of this game has a PC version. So the console version only have Japanese, so that's the fastest for that. But there is simplified Chinese in the PC version, which is even faster.
Right. I bet that doesn't surprise me because there would be fewer characters basically.
Is that Jill?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Enrico's?
Is that voice Enrico? Right.
Wait there.
Is that voice Enrico? Right. You can see like that's not. Is that Enrico? Like obviously that's the translation, right?
I'm alone, but why are you asking?
You mentioned some of the that the voice acting got a little ragged on, but to be honest, like us fans of this, it's endearing, the voice acting. We love it. It's something. It's like one of those things that without it, it wouldn't be Resident Evil.
It made it what it was to a sense, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that over and over again now, and I'm so obviously happy to hear that, and having watched the game and played the game, with Lexonal, I can see that it works, right? There's a harmony all around, and part of it I think is the fact that the characters are not super realistic, right? It seems like the more realistic you've got the face and like everything now, what PS5, I've only seen videos online on YouTube. We don't have a console ourselves, but it's so realistic, right? So the voices would have to be like realistic as well, because it would be weird. It would just feel abnormal. But I think part of it, because it is a bit cartoony, right, that the voice acting somehow matches it by maybe a little bit of an accident. But it does work, and it's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
and
fine. I wouldn't change a thing. There was a time where I was thinking I got to redo all these lines, and You know what? It's fine. It's perfect. It's perfect as it is.
It is, definitely. Yeah, and definitely
Why we love it, man.
in 1996, you know, we we were still on sort of 2D side-scrolling type of graphics, and then to go from that to this with voice acting, because a lot of games didn't have, you know, didn't have much voice acting in it to begin with. So just to have all of that come together along with the environment and just the look and the feel of everything, it was a true horror experience, and we love it.
Wow. Yeah. It was really so far advanced at that time, wasn't it? 1996. And even now, I mean, look, we're 2022. We're playing this, and it doesn't look. It's fine, you know, like it's perfect. You know, I haven't really played many video games, and I would have thought if somebody said this is like the latest in video games, I would have believed them. Not even this in this day and age, because I compare against like Roblox, for example, that Lexano plays, and that's pretty basic, which is good. You know, they do it on purpose, not to look at too realistic for kids. Well, this was this scene. The graphics on Fortnite.
They're higher.
Yeah.
They're not that.
Right, I see.
But the games that survived aren't like full thick ones.
Oh, I see. So you're saying? Oh, I see. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you have any questions, by the way, about the speedrun, please feel free to ask.
Yeah. I just that Wolf of Wall Street there, that book, that was the toughest part for us. We were like, where is this thing? And we were up on this top part for the longest time. But that'll be Hannah. That's okay. My daughter's just come home from her piano lesson. No, it's okay. Mummy will pick up the. But do you play other games in terms of speed running? Like, or is it just Resident Evil that you really focus on?
Yeah, so I mean, I've only been speedrunning for about a year, which I say only about a year because I know a lot in the speedrunning community. They've been doing it for years. So right now, and the great thing about Resident Evil is that there's so many categories, so many different ways you can do this. There are people who speedrun this while using the shotgun only, using the handgun only, using the knife only.
Yeah, right.
So there's so many ways to do it. And right now, I'm just running the original 1, 2, and 3. But I do have plans to run the remakes and possibly run some other games, maybe a Mario game or a Pokemon game. Just because speedrunning in general, like, you know, I play these games on and off over the years anyway, but this sort of reinvigorated my love of the games and got me to appreciate things that I didn't before. And you really get to understand the mechanics as you speedrun. And that is something that I really appreciate. So the fixed camera angles really add a level of terror because you don't know what's around the corner. You can't peek. It's all a surprise. And little things like that, I think, keep me drawn to the game. But then there's always the challenge of you know, can you beat your time, or you start making friends in the community and can you beat their times? And it's all friendly. It's never, you know, never anything.
Are you in like a lot of like races and all that stuff?
Yes.
So do you compete a lot? Like, is it every week you're competing, or?
It's not every week, no. But actually, yesterday, the Twitch team that I'm a part of, that actually Matt RPD is the lead on, we're all on the same Twitch team. Ooh, okay, sorry. That part required a little bit of focus there.
It's okay. That's all right. You keep rocking. You're doing great. I like that John and Ada part. Like, I love when she slams her hand on the desk when she gets it wrong. You know, I love that part. We just think it's terrific.
Have you ever had where you sit the wrong way around, like you put like Ada and John instead of John Ada or something?
Yeah. Did you ever mix it around? Did you ever like, it's not Ada and John, it's John and Ada? Have you done like little mistakes like that?
Yes, definitely.
I'm sure you have, actually.
Yeah, when we first, you know, when my sister and I first played this game, we were kids. This was actually really sophisticated for us. So the puzzles and solutions to the puzzles and the clues on where to find the solutions were all very, very complex. And so I think in total the game took us, I don't know, 14 or 15 hours in total, which makes the speed run.
It took us 14 hours.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, to go
Yeah, it took us
from
13 hours, 50 minutes, I think it was actually. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty typical for a first playthrough. And to go from that to now, 39 minutes is just it's night and day.
What does she think? What does she think? What does your sister think? Is she
yeah, so
she kind of go, oh, man.
Yeah, she's seen them and she's like, we spent so much time. We we racked our brains on this for so long. How? Like it's like It's like, how can you go from completely confused and not knowing where to go to this? Yeah, she's very shocked.
Yeah, no, it's a completely different experience for you, right? Each and every time you play. This was a good scene for us, just to remember this. One of my favorite lines is when he says, "You guys are idiots. No one understands its real value." I love that line. I think it's a good one. It's a good line.
That's my favorite line.
You guys are idiots.
There's more lines in Chris than there were in Jill, so
that's right. We're hearing more. Yeah.
And also, depending on how many characters you save, the dialogue changes as well. So some other categories in this is if you can save only Chris, you could save only Barry, or you could save both of them. And the dialogue changes depending on who you decide to save.
We got to save everyone, right? I mean, the best would be to save presumably everyone, correct? Right?
Yeah, that category is the best ending. Yeah.
Yeah, best ending. And bad ending. I think that's what we saw. Bad ending, good at best ending. I think I saw something on speedruns. Bad. Yeah, that was quite funny.
This one should be called the selfish ending because it's just Jill looking out for herself the entire time.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, I get the idea that only using the shotgun or only using
that'd be quite fun.
that's a good idea because that's more natural, right? When you think about, like, let's say she's actually going in, she's got one gun. It's not normal that you would find some shotgun in some closet somewhere, right? I mean, you go in with the ammo that you have, and you got to go with that same ammo. So I can see how that's a good challenge.
And given that it's not as powerful, it's even more of a challenge because you have to find more ammo, you have to shoot more on the enemies. It's definitely a challenge.
Yeah, and Jim also got in chat here. He says the best thing for this cutscene in a speedrun is that you can go and take a toilet break. Because the game is so intense and you get the long cutscene.
Yeah, exactly. That's the toilet scene,
just to get your get your food. And
that's right. This is where you can order pizza for tonight and stuff, and then
do some light.
Do what you need to do during it. Yeah.
Well, because Lexonal and I, we were, we died, of course, in this scene. And so we had to look over and over. It was like, oh no, not again. Like, we got to see this scene. Even though, I'm the voice of this scene, I'm still like, okay, after the second or third time, I was like, okay, enough. I get it. You guys are idiots, all right?
How did you actually get to this bit where, like, Wesker's in the room? Like, we didn't have this bit.
Oh, is Wesker in the room here?
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, I think because it depends on who you're saving. So I think if you've saved Chris and Barry or either one, that triggers Wesker to go somewhere else. Or I don't remember off the top of my head, but it depends on who you save. It changes the outcome of everything, including Wesker being in this room. So I think if you save Barry, it's Jill and Barry in this room, and then Barry gets hit.
I see.
But
so this is
Pablo's,
where I got you get killed.
This is Pablo's untimely death here.
Right. Don't come this way!
He's got a lot of blood, bro. Look at all that blood.
Oh, that is a lot of blood. I do have a lot of blood in my body, so that makes sense. I love how he has a double heart. Now it's a real hilarious scene that Lexonal and I did this.
Bro, his body was in front of it, so I couldn't move.
Where he actually, because you actually kill Tyrant in the nuts, right in the crotch area, right? You're not shooting him in the head. And so he shot Tyrant right in the nuts, and I laughed
so much.
I laughed and I laughed. I just couldn't, because we were like, everything was like focusing in the chats. Everybody was saying like headshots. You got to do headshots. That's how you get rid of the zombies. Headshots, and he takes a gun and he takes a Colt Python, shoots Tyrant right in the nuts, and Tyrant drops.
It's
And
like
I just laughed about a minute straight because it was like so unbelievable. A Tyrant, of course, in the nuts. That's how you kill Tyrant. You know, like it was just so. It was so funny, and then of course he comes back to life, right? And
I'm really embarrassed to see you.
oh, he's really embarrassed.
he's
Just
embarrassed.
leave me. Go quickly.
It's over, Barry. Wesker's dead.
Is that so? Jill, will you do me a favor? This is my last wish. Please give this photo to my family. Will you?
Sure.
Forgive me, Jill.
Wow.
Very dramatic death
dies.
scene. Yeah, dramatic.
That is very dramatic.
I
We
mean,
did
it'd be a family thing and doing this. Like,
Right.
give this to my
and there's
family.
there's
There's the
Barry.
picture of the family. Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
Barry, the family man.
Yeah, I actually did a cosplay of
I can
Barry.
just continue speedrunning.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I did a cosplay of Barry, and I tried to mimic his voice. I try to
Right.
do impressions here and there, but he has a very sort of hoarse, almost smoker's voice.
Right.
And
He does
so-
actually, right?
Yeah, and so I tried it, and I did it for about 90 minutes. And for like the next day, I was just, my throat was hurting.
Sore.
Like, it was rough. Yeah.
Right. Well, he's very Canadian. For me, his voice is so like,
Mm-hmm.
so no, like he, like he just like, like I remember actually watching him doing the line, when I wasn't in the booth and I was watching Barry doing his lines. And he's getting like, oh, come on, Jill, let's go. We have to do. He's got this kind of like huffy thing, and it was really, but he was really getting into the booth, and that was
That's
a lot of
awesome.
fun. Actually.
So
Really
Tom,
enjoyed it,
Tom, you can hit the timer once the screen goes black, and then we'll see what the in-game time is. This is the end of the run. Once Jill shoots the flare up in the air, the game is over. You just wait for the cutscene, and then the official timer ends once the screen goes black. And so we'll see what the time is. I would venture a guess we've got somewhere around 39:15, 39:20. We'll see.
Really, you know that. Yeah, I mean, you've played it so many times. You have this. Well, there you go.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh my, how does he know?
39:23. Well done.
Thank
Number
you.
of saves 0. Really well done. That was just terrific, actually. How you went around that snake, because the snake just kept getting us, right? That was tough. That
Kept
one.
camping in the corner.
Yeah, that snake was tough.
I
39:23. Well,
Yeah, speedrunners dedicate a lot of time to that snake fight for sure. There you get a save point, and then you go to that save point, and you just do it over and over again. And I'll have side by side how someone else did it, and I'll try it, and then I'll just keep going. Usually it takes about 100 tries, I would say, before you start to get it a little bit more consistently.
I see. So you save at a certain point because you don't want to obviously go for the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
You'll save and then you'll purposely die, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Or
And then you'll
reset
do it
the
again.
game.
Oh, when you reset the game, it'll come back to your save. I always forget.
Yeah,
That's how
you
it
reset,
works,
and
but-
then you click load, and then you pick the load.
Oh,
or
that's
the
right. Of
save
course.
point,
Yeah, exactly. Just pick up where you were. I see.
Yeah, there are people
Wow.
in the speedrunning community that have made saves so you can kind of download to your PC and put in the game folder so you can just practice the areas you need to practice over and over again.
Wow, that's just amazing. There's a lot of, I mean, there seems to be communities that are dedicated to. I think even like somebody had said, if I wanted to do like the voice, because I only did RE1. If some people have encouraged me to do some of the voice acting for 2 and 3, just if I'm in 2 and 3, I think I'm in 2. I'm not sure. But and then they would put it in like in a mod or put it in the game somehow. I don't know.
Yep.
So
There are ways.
Yeah,
there are
so
definitely ways to do it.
There are
mods
ways,
out
right?
there. Yep,
There are
there
ways,
are.
right?
Absolutely.
Wow, fantastic.
So-
So anybody else playing RE1 today or what? Are you playing again, Venusaur? Are you?
No,
Not
actually,
talking
coming up next is going to be RE2 from another runner. I'm again, not to do too much self-promotion, but I'm going to actually go on my stream and try to speedrun Chris any %. So you don't want to get that spoiled, but if you want to watch it after you're done finishing Chris, I definitely encourage you to do that.
And your channel is, I'll just look up Venusaur and I'll find it, right?
That one Venusaur, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that one is Venusaur, and you're on Twitch, I suppose, right? That's the main place.
Yeah.
Okay. All the speedrunners are on Twitch. Is that correct? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Most like to stream it. Some just record for YouTube. But it's a lot of them on Twitch. Yeah.
Fantastic.
YouTube's not as good as stream.
No, I get it. Well, okay. I guess is that it for today? Are we wrapping up? Is that,
I would love.
If
I
there's
would
any
love.
more? Yeah.
One thing, and I know you probably get bothered for these things all the time. But you said you said your favorite line is actually, it's also my favorite line, and I would love for you to modify it just a little bit and just say, Venusaur, you're an idiot. I would love that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll do that. Venusaur, right? Okay. So, Venusaur, you're an idiot. How's that? Is that good? Anyway, okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And for that, I'm going to definitely drop a donation for the FTLG Marathon. Definitely.
Venusaur, also, don't forget to check Pablo and Lexonal's YouTube channels.
Yeah, please do, guys. Yeah, I kind of got into this to kind of help Lexonal on his way, a 12-year-old kid, but it'd be really fantastic if you guys could pump up his subscriber count and join us for our Chris adventure, and also look at what we've done with the Jill. It's a lot of fun. I think you guys will enjoy it.
We're still getting used to seeing a different character in the game.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
I'm here to help if you ever.
Guys.
Yeah, if you ever want to speed run, I'll be your coach. I'll help you out.
Oh, that'd be great. What do you think?
And then you race Matt and you beat him.
Yes.
I like the idea.
Everyone was like in the stream, we need to teach Lexonal not to be impressed by Matt's speed running.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of you getting trying with just a knife or just a gun or something.
Again, I'd probably get I don't know, a few hours, 3 hours.
3 hours if you just did it by yourself, right? Yeah, I think so. That's awesome. I had a great time today, guys. It was really good. Thanks so much for inviting me and Lexonal on. It's terrific, and thanks everyone for being part of the chat and partaking in this. So hopefully we're raising a bit of funds today. That's the goal. That's the goal.
It was wonderful having you on, hearing about your experience with this game. Great to have you on as well, Lexonal. And I wish you all the best in your future Resident Evil journeys.
Thank you both.
Just to let you both know, we are at £2,561 raised so far throughout our events.
Wow, how about that? How many people were watching us, by the way? When we were, I don't know.
There are currently, just over 2,000 people.
Wow, that's nice. That's a good number. Terrific.
2,000.
Really terrific. Wow, you guys are awesome. Love it.
Thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it. It's kind of like a dream come true. So very much appreciated. Thank you.
Well, we'll be in touch, and we're around. Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Take care. Okay. Bye for now.
All this time, I've been feeling hopeless till you came around. All this time, you're the only reason I'm not chasing highs. What is love?